In this video, we'll be talking about the global variables number 64,200 and 64,201, which allow you to open and close an on-screen widget depending on the widget's ID number. So here I have prepared a small demonstration of the two variables. Here I have a button that simply opens some sort of a test widget. I press the button again, and that widget is closed. So it seems to be very simple at first glance, and it generally is, but it's not done in the usual way of assigning a direct action to the button, which says, open and close the widget, which you may be familiar with if you followed the screen editing and configuration manual both in our documentation and in the other videos on this channel. Instead, what this button does is the following. Here I have my tutorial section. So first of all, I have this button right here, this little pencil button. All it does is has this action called CNC mode cutting toggle, and all it will do is it will toggle the cutting mode between the cutting and drawing / simulation mode. So it will toggle the global variable 5528, which shows you the current cutting mode, and you can find out more about this global variable in the global variables manual. But next, what I have is this little widget with a red background and a test widget label. But how do we actually bring up the widget on the screen? So because this action doesn't actually do anything to bring up the widget itself, it only changes the cutting mode. So there is something else going on besides this tutorial section. And what we have is we have a software PLC that you can find by going to your settings, configuration, software PLC, and here I have a small test PLC that features the following code. So first of all, this test PLC, since it doesn't have the two lines right here at the start, what it does is it loads when the software is first started, and then it continues running. And it continues running in this permanent do-while loop, within which we're looking for the state of the global variable 5528, and then depending on that state, we write a value of 200 into global variable 54,200. And then if the state is changed, we write 200 into 64,201. So what's happening here? The 64,200 variable opens a widget, and the 201 variable closes a widget. The 200 here stands for the ID of this widget. So if we go back into our XML file, we can see that this test widget with the red background that I've drawn on the screen right here has an ID of 200. If let's say we switch this to 205, let's say, then we'd have to switch this value to 205 here and 205 here. However, it's at 200 for now. Let's keep it that way. And let's switch it back here. So all that's happening now is we have this do-while loop running. We have these two commands to open and close a widget with a given ID, and we have this ID listed in our XML file that describes this widget. So this particular example can be easily done with a very simple command of opening and closing a set widget. However, for more complex applications, for example, if you just want to monitor something and then automatically open a widget on screen without user input, etc., this can prove very useful. So for things that you would like to automate, for things that you would like to set without user input, etc., these two variables, 64,200 and 64,201, will come in very useful. Thank you for watching. As always, please visit our documentation at docs.pvautomation.com for more information.